So you guys know that I'm using the AKs for the most of the time, right? I am an AK guy. I'm playing the AKs. I've played many variations of those from 105, from 104, different kind of builds and everything. And I kind of know the playstyle you need to adapt. So I have like 3 different builds for the 74N, which is the best AK you can get right now when it comes to recoil and all this crap that comes along. Now, the 74N, the first build is going to be the cheapest one you can get, right? So if you can afford, if you don't have the flea market unlocked, then you're not the flea market, sorry, the traders, then you're kind of fucked because everything it's expensive in the flea market. So even if you want to buy that simple piece, the pad, the recoil pad, it's like 3k on the traders. You see 3.5k, but you get it for 15k off the flea market, which just 15k for one item. But when you buy 3 of those, it kind of boosts the amount. All right, so your priority should be unlock the traders because everything is hella cheaper. So we have an AK. So this AK has this pad on the back, right? Reduce the recoil there. We have these. Actually, I'm gonna open it up here. There you go. Right. So you see here. Actually, I'm gonna open it up on the preset. There you go. Now we can see the stats and everything. So that's a 65 recoil and 35 ergos. That's 35 ergos. If we remove the mag, right, it goes up to 51. But just for the sake of like comparison, I'm gonna put that here. So the AK, the Polymer 100 series, whatever, it's the one that has access to, you can put a grip on the bottom, and without buying bridges and stuff, without buying extra modular things, you can literally buy that thing for, let me check. So that's 1.4 thousand, man. 1.4 thousand. And on the flea market, it's just 5k. So you get some boost from that. I think it's like +1 recoil, and then you get an RK5, which RK5 again is cheap. You can get it for like 6k, 6.9k, and off the flea market it goes down to 14k, right? If you can get the RK1 instead of RK5, that's even better. Now the sight I chose is because it works perfectly with the AKs. You don't have to change to a bastion or something on the top. Literally mount the scope, you're ready. The scope goes for 10 to 12,000. And then here you go for the SRVB for the simple reason of money. You don't want to go for the RRD unless you can afford it. Now that's the cheap version. You only change a few stuff on the gun just so you can go in a raid and have at least a decent gun to fire back. I'm gonna showcase them in the hideout as well. So the next build is, it's not a big difference. When it comes to recoil, it's like, what's it, 6, I think? Yeah, like it's 6 points less than this one, but you get a boost on ergo. And that difference of the 6 points, you feel it in the game, you know? So that's like the mid tier where you can kind of play around, but you don't want to spend enough money, but at the same time, you want something that it's gonna be viable. Then you want to go here. You want to get the X47, which basically gives you, I think, the same stats as the... Is the B30? I think it's a B30. It gives you the same stats. Let me check it out again. Yeah. And it actually gives you more ergo as well. So B30 is like plus 15k on top, which is kind of expensive. So I went with the X47, RK1, get an extra boost of recoil, still SRBV for the muzzle device, and then, yes, we're using this thing here, the UAS buttstock. Now, I'm not changing the grip. There is no point. We have enough ergo. We can work around with those, right? no flashlight. That comes down to you if you want to use it. As well as the sight on top, it's up to you. You can go like really cheap, maybe go with a Cobra. It's completely up to you. Alright, really cheap stuff. Everything comes in, you see 6k apart from the gun. Let's say you own the gun, that's 22k from the trader. You see, 23. It's not a big difference from buying it from the traders and the flea market. So that's why I did my research there to see that the price is gonna be consistent, you know. No laser, nothing. So that's the second build. Really simple. You have the rails, you have everything there. And then the final one, this is my personal favorite. I'm not going for the full meta one, right? This is the full meta one. That's the full meta one. You can see it has the Troy gas tube and everything. So this is the one I am using. Right. I know that you're wondering now, why the hell are you not using the best in slot, right? Why are you not using the Troy combo, which gives you more recoil? Well, in fact, it gives you minus 1 recoil, which is non-existent. And on the other thing, you have to use, here you have the rails, you have everything ready, plus the weapon looks fucking sick. You see, I find a flashlight in the raid, boom, put it on. Works. Find a laser in raid, boom, put it on. It works. On the other side, right, let's say you have a Troy combo. There you go. You need to put these rails, these guides on the gun every single time unless you've already pre-installed them to the gun so you can put stuff in the raid, right? But that's the main reason why I'm not going for this one for my personal build. So let's say you have an RK2 here as well and you find something in raid, right? You forgot to put a flashlight on. You can mount it. There is no guides, nothing. You have to pre-install them unless you mount the thing here, which you see, you don't have a big selection of stuff. So you can only get 5 of those items and that's it. So you mount the guides and you pay the extra price, right? I know people are gonna be like, yeah, that's not expensive. Well, it is. It is. If you don't have the traders, it is. If you do, you can do that. So that's why I am not going for the Troy combo, but instead 74 tube. And then we're going for the B30. B30, perfect. It works perfectly fine. There you go. That's my build. PS or Gonlik. I mainly use Gonlik, but I have heard the PS apparently more consistent. It's the other way around, actually. The BS, it needs more bullets to drop somebody if they have a decent armor. And I'm not taking my chances. In Gonlik, it's 3 shots to the chest for somebody to drop dead. So I would suggest going with the Gonlik. Like, you can see my stack here. I've already got more now. But yeah. See how many BS I got and how many Gonliks I got. I have more success with the Gonliks. Alright, so let's go to the range. Let's get stuff more interesting. So I'm testing every single gun with the Gonli routes, right? I'm gonna test this one. This one first. Alright. So you guys know there is a specific way how I do play with the AKs. Like I'm not spraying and praying from far, right? It's pretty obvious. Like you see a guy, you wanna tap fire, right? As soon as you tap fire, the guy runs, then you can spray. You can spray there and just get a kill. Now, as a build, it doesn't jump initially really high as a stock AK. It has like 65 recoil, which is decent. Now, if you're standing and you're spraying from that distance, well, you deserve to lose most of your shots, right? That's why when you're playing AKs, you kind of know how to use them. You're not standing here trying to shoot somebody. Because that initial kick is gonna alert the guy and he's gonna sprint. He's gonna run away, right? Kinda wanna like wait. Be in a position you can shoot. Right? Let's say the guy sees you. You want to go crouch and shoot. Right? So that's this gun. That's how the gun feels. We go to the other gun. That's the mid-tier, I'm gonna call it. For those 6 points, you can feel the difference. There is no huge jump on the top. There is kind of like a horizontal recoil, but if you kind of learn to work around with that, you're fine. Most of the shots are in the center. That's what matters. The crowds, though, this is where the fun begins. Perfectly fine. And then if we go for like my personal favorite, there we go. Now that's the one with the B30. Like that's the best build you can get. That's standing. Right. I'm standing right now, shooting. There is no recoil. I mean there is, but you kind of get the idea. Right, so keep in mind that the recoil control skill, it does make a difference from level to level. Mine, I think it's 8%. Recoil control, mine is at 8%, right? Improves recoil control by 8%. So it makes sense from level to level to see difference, right? Just keep that in mind. But that's my list actually. That's like the 3 AKs that I suggest you guys build. I'm at the high, I'm like, I have the money now to build as many AKs I want, but I love trying and play around with the guns. So I found out that a simple AK can do the job well. Keep that in mind. That's it.